watch the channel, you know that recently I installed this TRD style grill on my 1997 Toyota 4Runner. In today's video, my buddy and I are going to be installing a Raptor style grill on his 2015 Ford F150 Sport. First, we start out by removing the clips for the top cover that sits underneath the hood above where the grill is. For the plastic clips, I use a specific tool, as you can see, that allows you to pinch and pull. You can also use a flathead screwdriver, and there are also other sets of tools that you can utilize to help remove these clips. Once we have the clips removed, we ended up removing that plastic cover. It does sit underneath the intake as well, and there are two clips over there that you have to take off to be able to fully remove it. Once we removed the cover, we did have then access to 10mm bolts that we had to remove. I started out using a normal wrench and socket set, but then I got smart and I used an impact driver to help me remove those a lot quicker. After that was done, we ended up removing these additional clips that hold the front of the grill to pretty much the back part that attaches to it. We didn't have to do this right now, but we did it anyways just to kind of get it out of the way. To be able to get the grill off, we ended up having to move the trim near the headlight, that is to gain access to one more 8mm bolt to help us remove this grill. While removing this trim, we were very careful to pull on it. We didn't want to be too aggressive, while at the same time we still needed to, of course, pull it to loosen up the clips that are holding it on. We stopped pulling it once it got close to the fender near the wheel well, because there is a over fender style piece of trim that connects to it via adhesive, and we didn't want to have to deal with that, so we stopped here, and it was plenty to gain access to what we needed to get the grill removed. And of course, we made sure that we disconnected the two connecting wires that are attached to this piece that is behind the grill for the ventilation vents. And finally, on each side there are two retainer clips that hold on rubber to the grill that also prevents it from coming out, so we remove those from both sides. There's one in the middle of the grill and then one towards the bottom. Once all the clips and bolts were undone, we were able to finally remove the stock grill. Before we started installing the new grill, we had to detach this ventilation system that sits behind the stock grill to attach to the new grill. There are 4 bolts total that we had to remove, 2 on each side, and then there are these small nut-style fasteners that go over these plastic tabs. We had to remove those as well. We did it very gently so we didn't snap the plastic that it was on, just in case if we ever wanted to reuse the stock grill. And there is also one bolt in the center of this ventilation system that was attaching it to the grill that we also had to remove.
Beautiful. That's part of whatever was holding it in here. Because it's what these things were screwing into.
The 4 bolts we had to remove from the ventilation system to detach the ventilation system from the stock grill. They weren't fully detached. We actually had to remove them to be able to use the new bolts we got with the new grill. So they were a little bit annoying. We did have to use vice grips to help rip these things off fully from the actual ventilation system. Once the stock grill was fully removed and everything was detached, we started assembling the new grill. First things first, we had to attach the F and the R in the lettering. This is mainly because the company can't provide this grill with it saying Ford on it, so to provide those 2 letters separate. You do have to attach these with provided screws from the company to put the letters onto the grill. I would like to also add, unlike the Toyota 4Runner grill that I installed, I did not have any issues with these screws. The threads that they attached to onto the letters did not crack in any shape or form, so that is a great thing to see. Also, the lights were already attached to the grille, unlike the Toyota 4Runner where I had to attach it myself. Once the lettering was installed onto the new grille, we started attaching the ventilation system to the back of it. Before doing that, we made sure that all the wires for the lights were facing towards the passenger side of the vehicle, since that is where the battery is located. With the new grille, we used new bolts for the 2 bolts that are on each side, and then also on the bottom there are plastic tabs just like the stock grille, so we used these nut style fasteners to attach that to the grille. We did it very slow with the impact, just so that way nothing snapped and broke, which I have to say, everything worked great. These nut style fasteners were the only items we reused from the factory grille on these plastic tabs. We were provided 6 bolts with 6 washers. 2 of them appeared to be extras just in case we misplaced 1 or 2, and we used those to attach the ventilation for the 2 bolts on each side. The only thing we did not reuse or use at all was that center bolt that was in the center of the grille and the ventilation system. And we also made sure that we did not over tighten these. We just got them snug enough where it held good, just to make sure nothing broke on us while tightening this up.
This is an internet argument, alright?
Is it?
Yeah. There is.
After all that was done, right before putting the grille back onto the truck, we made sure the wires were facing towards the passenger side one more time, and then we started the process of installing the new grille onto the actual truck. And of course, the installation of the new grille is the reverse process of taking off the old grille.
Catches on the rubber.
Yeah, that's why it dropped, because I moved it. Everything's solid. Here,
Looks like it.
which ones were in here? Was it black ones?
Yeah, there are some.
There's 4 black ones, so I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, this one's in the center of it. Yeah.
They are now. I asked you 5 times. I think these are the only ones that didn't have like there was like a symbol with. Just do the top. Are we just gonna go ham? Is it going in the right hole? There.
Some finesse.
Once the new grille was mostly on, we started working on the wiring before putting on the plastic cover that sits on top of everything. We connected the wiring harness to the lights, and we routed it again towards the passenger side to be near the battery, and we just tucked the wires underneath the lip of the grille so that way it looks clean and it's not in the way.
Good, right?
Before fully finishing with the grill by setting up the wiring, we go ahead and test the lights. Now, in hindsight, we should have done this way before, but we decided to do it at this point, and luckily, all the lights work just fine. Connecting the wires was fairly simple. The ground went to this ground bolt that is connected to the chassis, and then for the positive, we simply used the T-taps to tap it into the running light, the amber running light that's right there to the side of the headlight.
I mean, that's, I don't know. Because I don't, here it's not.
Before putting the tap onto the amber corner running light, we made sure we use the multimeter to find out which wire is the positive wire so we can tap the right wire. Then we stripped the protective housing a little bit back so that way we weren't tapping the wire right by the connector and it had a little distance between the two. Once that was done, we put the tap onto that wire and then connected the positive to it. Once everything was connected, we tested one more time to make sure the lights were working and everything was working. Then we went and go ahead and put electrical tape around the two connectors, around the ground connector and the tap that we put on the corner light, and we finally put the plastic cover on to finish up this installation. Any issues that I had with Toyota 4Runner grill were non-existent on this F150. I will definitely highly recommend picking this up if you're looking to do this upgrade on your F150 or even your Toyota. They have a bunch of other brands. The website is linked below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.